Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, positive thinkers. Good morning to those listeners out there. Um, I'm well this morning, feeling pretty good, and I hope you are too. Uh, yeah, peace and blessings out there. Um, I wanted to do another video. Okay, I like these. I like these. I gotta admit, I like these videos, recordings, and doing stuff like that. So. Um, I wanted to make another video today. Um, I just found out something that um, how should I say? Let's see. I just found out something. Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about. You gotta excuse me sometimes because my mind could be like on other things, um, and, and and it's like kind of like a habit because when I'm doing positive thinking, my mind is on what I'm going to say for today. Sometimes I don't even go by my notes that I bring out there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to excuse me sometimes if I take a little lapse because my mind is like thinking about other things while I'm still trying to get my point across with this. So that's why I take the lapse because it's not, um, and sometimes it could be, I'm trying to remember my point. So, just to be, real straight up. Uh, it's funny how the day before I do a video talking about bending law, and then Mueller comes out, or I guess it's not the whole report, but then Mueller comes out the day after. So I find that a little coincidence, a little match, because I just got finished doing a video talking about finishing up with bending law, and I said now if the powers that be accepts it. So that's where, as I said in the first video, I stumbled across something, and as far as when I catch up, because I'm still in the learning stages with my passion and stuff like that, but I said when I begin to catch up on things, then I'll catch the YouTube listeners up on things, and what's happening, and uh, how things started, and what's going down with things. I just thought I would share it. I don't know. You know? It's what happened, and I feel that there's nothing to hide is what happened. And then another reason is if you want another side of the story to if you want another side, if you want another viewpoint, or if you want another side to history, basically. Because he is the president and it is the administration. But it's funny how I came out with a video and then the day after the Mueller report came out. So and now they have passed the baton onto onto Congress. So there was another thing I wanted to come up. Oh yeah, this is another thing I was missing, and this is very important. This goes back to the beginning, because in the beginning video, so this is like I was talking about putting the pieces to the puzzle together. So this is another piece to the puzzle of this video that I'm going to put right into it. It should complete some things, but it's another little piece of the puzzle that I had left out, and this goes back to the beginning on how this wishbone was branded up against the Trump administration, or Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty. Eggs don't go on walls, they go on frying pans. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Eggs don't go on walls, they go on frying pans, first of all. So So the missing piece of the puzzle is that I told you when I came to New York, I took the bus here. I came up here with a friend of mine, but I took the bus up here, and let's see, I knew when I left from where I was at, I knew that as I took that bus trip, because it was like a couple of hours, I was thinking to myself, I said, and you heard this before in the I guess in the first video, I said that when I get to New York, I'm gonna have, I don't want to go down the same path that I was going. I knew that, and I knew that my passion was also here. And another thing is, before I came to New York, you see it in the tabloids about, stars and, how actors and actresses they have to quit certain jobs and do certain things. So you're going after your passion. You read up on things. So things are already out there. They're in the tabloids, and you go to your local Rite Aid stores and the magazines, or well, this person has to go to AA, and this, they got to do certain things, and they put it all in the tabloid. So if you're serious about your passion, you know about these things, and they've been out there. So that's another reason why I wanted to travel Insanity's way before I started playing with passion. I don't know. That's just something with me. But so I wanted to come up to New York and just have a different way of thinking. Positive thinking. I did negative thinking, so now it's time for some positive thinking. So, and I was just thinking about this, the whole bus trip. And I said, okay, and it sounds good. So, I guess the rest of the story. I went to, 31st and 6th. But, it really hit home that bus ride, because I needed that for time just to myself, just to think. People were around me, but they didn't know me. So it was just time for myself and, just to think. And that's good, especially when you're conscious of it. I'm by myself and it feels good, and I get, and I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking about some things. Now, how do you want to treat this passion? You know what I'm saying? Are you serious? And stuff like that. So, and I said, yeah, because I know what I read and saw in the tabloids, and I know what I've been through. So why wouldn't I be serious? And plus, what I've been through. So why wouldn't I be serious? But anyway, I wanted to put this piece into the puzzle. So this is when I came to New York, I started doing positive thinking. But anyway, you know about that. Starbucks, boom, boom, 31st and 6th. So I was on Harvey Weinstein. Because I have a cell phone, and I just did it off my cell phone. So I just, coming from the homeless shelter, so I had a health cell phone. So I was doing things off my cell phone. So it was Harvey Weinstein. So, I was talking about him, and I in the first video, and I said something had led me to Trump, and then I was just on Trump. I know what happened now. And here's that little piece of the puzzle that I want to put into play. It was Robert De Niro. And I came to New York, and I saw Harvey Weinstein on the news, and then next thing you know it, maybe a couple of weeks later, I saw Robert De Niro on the news. I remember because I was sitting in the kitchen at this, because they have the TV in the kitchen. And I was sitting in the kitchen. I remember Robert De Niro came on the news, and he said something about Trump. And I said, well, I like Robert De Niro, I've seen his movies. I like Robert De Niro. I think he's a great actor, This is, and not trying to ride off anybody's coat or whatever, but he's an excellent actor. One of my favorites. I have a little picture thing. I have a little picture thing. You know, I don't know if I can turn it around, but I'll show you right. I don't know. Can you see it? I don't know. Let's put it this way. There you go. So, and I got it off. One of my first things when I came to New York, I got it off the stand. But yeah. So I was like, what in the world could he be upset about? And then it was Trump. And then one thing, and I talked about in earlier videos, watch out for that one thing leading to another. See, insanity don't want to talk about one thing leading to another. It just wants to talk about this. But it don't want to talk about the whole story and the whole picture. So remember one thing, and one thing leading to another, when you back it up, like that domino thing, that's our reasons. Start backtracking, one thing led to another. That's your reason. And that's your base. That's our rope to hold on to. Because one thing led to another. Because one thing led to another. Just like you're walking, you take one step, you took another step, you take another step. Just like I'm walking around. One thing led to another. And then if you have to go backwards and say, well, why did this happen? Well, because of this. And then you're just going backwards because of one thing led to another. So that's our reasons, our ropes. So yeah, and that's how I came on Humpty Dumpty and to the administration. And, because he was on the news, and then I just kept watching it. And I said, now I see what, I just kept watching it. So that's how one thing led to another. But, okay, so that's the missing piece of the puzzle. Yeah. So, now, yeah, I'm well this morning. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, here's another thing I want to talk about. Well, that's a good one. And I talk about this to my positive thinkers. Positive trouble. Positive trouble. Now, as I'm doing this thing and doing positive thinking up here, it came to my mind that misery doesn't understand positive trouble. Insanity, it doesn't understand positive trouble. Now, when it first came across my mind, positive trouble, I said that doesn't make sense. Positive. How can it be positive trouble? Well, I had to. Okay, positive trouble, double positives. When you're doing something over and over again and you're getting different results. And energy doesn't want you to receive those results because you're getting different results. You're not getting those same results. So you're not getting those same results. You're not getting those same results like this energy is. So it wants to try to stop you from getting those different results on the double positive side of the wishbone. But but if you know how to use it right, then you can. If you have, what they say, if you have lemons, then make lemonade. This is when I want to bring up this first. And then there's other sayings to that, but I just wanted to throw something out there. This is another quote. This is a quote. And before I get to this quote, and I'll get back to positive trouble, but before I get to this quote, as I said, when I come on YouTube, for me, it's about saving people energy, and I just go through what, some of the things that I've been. I don't tell everything, but some of the things that I've been through in my life and my life experiences. But when I come on YouTube, as I said, it's not me that's funny. Uh, but my thing is don't look at me necessarily, but look at insanity. And as you're going throughout your insanity being brought to you, and as you're going out through your everyday lives, and energy trying to make your way difficult, and as you're going out through your workday, and that's what I tell my positive. It's not me. I'm laughing at nonsense, and nonsense comes from the things that people do. And now, my thing is, if somebody makes a mistake or something like that, or somebody just didn't know, then boom, you know, and then there again, it's like, you know, therefore, I mean, you know, as I said, no, and there's nobody that's I'm not perfect, but I'm just laughing at the nonsense and the nonsense that comes from people. I wanted to get that out there. Let me see. Yeah. It's not me that we're supposed to be laughing at. We got to keep focus. It's the nonsense that's presented to us as we go through the course of our day and throughout our lives. And so instead of getting so mad, thinking that saving energy is the key, instead of getting so mad at somebody, turning the light bulb on, thinking that saving energy is the key. So instead of getting so mad, I laugh at the nonsense that's presented to me. You know, you laugh at, you gotta laugh at nonsense, and especially when they want something from you. You know, I don't know. I mean, time and energy. Time and energy is important. So, yes. So getting back to positive trouble. I said positive trouble. I was thinking to myself, positive trouble sounds ridiculous. I can't even going out there talking about positive trouble. And then you keep talking about it, you keep thinking about it. Positive trouble, positive trouble. You keep saying it in your head, positive trouble. How can it be trouble if it's positive? Well, it's not trouble for you, but it's in trouble for insanity. See? No trouble for you, but trouble for insanity. You're going after your passion, feeling good while doing it. See? So it's no trouble for you, but it's trouble for insanity. Positive trouble. Insanity doesn't understand positive trouble. You know? And let's see. What else about positive trouble? I had something else about positive trouble that was on my mind. But yeah, insanity doesn't understand. And as I said, it has no process and it has no understanding anyway. I have positive trouble. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. Yeah, and I'll give you an example. So I'm glad I had my notes down. See? I took notes this time. But Predator. I'm going to give you an example of positive trouble. See, Predator came down to Earth. And, you know, Predator was on the hunt. You know, killing, stuff like that, Predator. And he had the little things, the laser here and the bazooka and all. The Predator was serious. This is business. Whatever I come to do, don't worry about what I come to do, but I come down here on Earth, and later on, it's just me now, but later on, we're going to take over. See, that's what's in Predator's mind. He's on the mission for something. And so, Predator was in this tree, and he was cloaked out, false energy. And nobody couldn't see Predator. He was knelt down in the tree. And Predator I guess he was chasing somebody, or something happened, or they were chasing Predator, and maybe he didn't know that they were chasing him. Something happened. But the little boy was eating some candy. The little boy, he had the candy. And he seen the predator. He seen the thing that moved around in the trees, and it was cloaked out, and it was camouflaged. And the little boy looked in the tree, and he walked up to the cloak, the predator, and he held his hand up in the air like this. And Predator had nonsense, negative thinking, negative attitude. You know, killing, ready. I'm ready. Whatever it is, I'm ready for it. And I'm in position. And the little boy offered the Predator some candy. And it kind of messed Predator up. Kindness. Showing some kindness. And it messed Predator up. And, you know, as I said, that was positive trouble. Candy. Nice, kindness. You know? And all through the movie, he had candy on his mind. And he was killing people, but he didn't kill that little boy. He didn't do no harm to that little boy. So that's what kind of stuck in my mind about positive trouble. Positive trouble. Misery doesn't understand positive trouble. It doesn't know how to deal. Short circuits. Breaks down. Like Johnny Five just breaks down. You know, it just breaks down. Positive trouble. So that's why I say, you know, not trouble for you because see, you feel good. But it's trouble for misery. That's why I say misery doesn't deserve glow. Don't give misery glow. So, yeah. Now, talking about, I was talking about, what else? Oh, yes. Talking about positive trouble. Now, yeah. I'll give you another example about positive trouble. Now, say you've been doing something over and over again. Now, I'm about to show you something. Say you've been doing something over and over again, right? And you did it so long, over and over again. You know it's the bad thing about it is the hangover. The hangover of things. You get the hangover and you got to wake up and deal with the hangover. Same thing with life. You're doing things over and then you got to just deal with the hangover of things, you know. That's one thing. But so you've been doing things over and over again. And you say, well, what if I don't want to go that way today? Because you got a hangover from it. And then not only on top of it, you got a hangover one day, but you've been doing the same thing over and over again that you sort of got used to the hangover until one day it becomes it just becomes a bad migraine to where you have to slow down now, you know. Because I'm caught up in that routine. I'm caught up in that whatever it is. I'm caught up in going from first, second to third, home, first, second. I'm caught up in that routine. And I done caught a hangover from it. But now I'm caught up in that routine of spending that energy and I got a hangover. So now whatever is bringing me there, whatever is bringing me back there, now I want to deal with my hangover. But there's a point to where you can't deal with a hangover. You have to chill out. So, but say you're caught up in that moment and then you say, well, I don't want to go that way anymore because you notice the hangover. You know, I'm tired. I want to do something else. I want to go in another direction. Stepping off with the left. I want to go in another direction. Okay. You say that's not positive thinking. You try to tell your well, I don't want to do that today. That's not positive thinking. You're going to see and if you just mention positive thinking. That's not positive thinking. I don't think I want to do that today. Not today. Think about it, but that's not positive thinking. And if you tell to a person that you caught up in the routine with, or maybe even not a routine or just something, maybe it might just be a relationship or whatever kind of relationship it is. If you tell that person, hey, today that's not positive thinking, and you got to say it. That's not positive thinking. Say it and mean it. You're gonna see. That's where Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde comes in. See, Dr. Jekyll is talking to you on a normal level. But positive thinking, because see, and don't understand positive thinking. What do you mean? What are you talking about positive thinking? We got a plan here. We're going to do this, this, and this. Man, I don't want to do that plan. A plan is not positive thinking. You're going to see, and it may come slowly. It may come, it may seep. But you're going to see a whole different side of that person. Because insanity doesn't understand positive thinking. And especially when you're liable, especially when you could be the one thrown under the bus while insanity gets away with it. I don't know. What they put out in the movies now, so whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but it's not positive thinking. But, now, match things up. I talked about that. Talked about the missing piece. Yeah, talked about that. Positive trouble. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, okay. Now, I want to bring this one out. Let's see. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. That's it. Yes. A successful man is one that can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others thrown at him. That's another reason why I put my business, I did what I did out there on 31st and 6th. I didn't mind sharing my experiences and putting my business out there. Because there were a lot of reasons. I didn't want people to come up, or somebody to come up and try to pull some skeletons out of my closet. I just happened to stumble into positive thinking. I wasn't expected to come up here and do positive thinking. So, and then I caught, I guess I did, I don't know. But, some people started listening to me. So this is New York. People fly in and people catch the bus here and I don't know, But, so, it just so happens that I fell into some things with positive thinking. But a successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. I agree with that. The way I feel, once a person is done with something, well, then they have experiences. Even dealing with family members, you know who you are. You know who you are. That's like, what do I do, coach? So yeah, I like that one. I got another one here too. See, I have joy. I got joy. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. That's a good one. A mind, Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. First one was David Brinkley. But, a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to his old dimensions. Yeah, double positives and double negatives. Know about insanity. Dealt with insanity. I said now I have to make. It's just like you're just at a buffet or something. You didn't had fish, you didn't had the shrimp, you didn't had the steak, you didn't had the mashed potatoes. You had plenty of mashed potatoes. Now I gotta save a little room for dessert. That's passion. So a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. And, dealing with the double positives, the reason why I say dealing with the double positives and double negatives, once you throw passion in there, you're thinking a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. You're looking at the risk now, especially if you're going after your passion. Why? Because of the risk. Well, you can do this, this, and this, and you'll get this, this, and this, and we'll paint the pretty picture on the insanity side. We'll paint the picture, but it's not going to be your picture. You see what I'm saying? You're going to just be within that picture, but it's not your picture. But what I'm saying is a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimension. You positive thinking, positive attitude, you're going after passion. Why would you give all that up to take a risk? To jump all the way back on the other side of that wishbone without going back through the process of losing everything, starting over, and then climbing your way up in the negatives. Now you just want to jump on the other side of the wishbone. That's a big risk. You might not make that jump. That's where the risk comes in at. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. Insanity, confusion, and you don't find a lot of confusion with positive thinking, positive attitude because of the match. But you're going to find a lot of confusion and insanity with negative thinking, negative attitude because of the mismatch. Because you're going to spend more energy on that side. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I did. Now, I did. And there was a lot of reasons why I spent, because you had the risk there. I had to juggle. I had the risk, I had to juggle. And risk, juggling, and explaining. I had to explain it. Woo! 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 Let me tell you something. People go to school. You see? So me trying to explain, and then you get the right person that's what? Nah. People go to school, man. I go to school these days. They study hours because that's their passion. You see? So basically, you're trying to challenge. I'm trying to challenge insanity versus somebody's passion that's been studying and stayed up late and 24 hours and wrote papers and yes, please. So there's some bright people out here in this world. As I said, our passion is like certain people. We're just passionate in different things. Our passion, some of us may be good weightlifters. Some of us maybe people play football. Some people we just have different passions. Answering your phone call. We're not trying to answer other people's phone calls. Okay, so I wanted to get those quotes off. I don't know. Thank you for letting me share. A little bit of me mixed in with that. Um, so, yeah. So now I got to go back to the footage room. Now, what I was talking about before, to make sure this video is complete. One thing should back up another thing. See? One thing should back up another thing. So, footage room compared to the quotes, compared to, I'll throw some verses in there. But compared to this, but what I'm basically saying, one thing should back up to another thing. And this is how you know that the game, that everything's been exposed. It's already out there. The lightning bolt. This is what I put into the footage room now to help misery, insanity. The lightning bolt. Now that's there for us too. You know, sometimes now in the footage room, you want to open the door. You know, you can also learn. You know, learning. You can also learn. You know, because learning, that means that the will that you're going to keep, the will is still moving forward. So you can, well, you know, as long as I'm not experiencing with insanity, it's just like, you know, you can learn from kids. Yeah, we can learn from kids. So I put the lightning bolt into the footage room. Now the lightning bolt, that's to keep my mind on God, higher power. Okay, that's to keep my mind when insanity or misery comes with all this news, clown news TV, or when insanity. That's what I call it, clown news TV. So you get your news from Sideshow Bob. Clown news TV, or come with all this, when you're receiving stress and it just hits you at once. I put the lightning bolt into the footage room, keep my mind on higher power. That's what the true answer is. You see? I give you all this talk about this, and this, but I know what's going on. Why? Because you tell me what's going on. You don't. If it don't slip up from insanity from time to time, then the evidence against you will tell me what's going on. See, that's another thing I talk to my positive thinkers about. Which one would be crazy? Would it be insanity, or would it be me to keep going to insanity looking for truth? I keep going to insanity looking for truth. Sanity, are you going to tell me the truth today? Insanity, are you going to tell me the truth today? And I keep doing the same thing. Keep going to insanity looking for some truth. That doesn't make sense. That would make me crazy. Why? Because I keep going to insanity looking for truth and expecting truth. Well, then I'm the crazy one there. Something's got to be wrong. Something's got to be wrong with me, that I need to do some adjusting, or something's going on. I'm hooked on something for me to keep going back. Are you going to give me some truth today? Me on the sound, I'm going to tell you yeah all day long. Yeah, I give you some truth. What you want to hear? What you want to hear? You know, but, you know. I put the alligator, chop, chop, chop. I put the alligator into the footage room. Alligators don't want no positive thinking. I don't speak gator. Don't speak alligator. Cooler temperatures, hatchlings, eggs. I don't speak alligator. Alligators. I put alligators into the footage room. I'm not going to give alligators and sharks. I don't speak shark. I don't speak sea creature stuff. I don't speak creature. See? They don't understand me and I don't understand them. We speak two totally different, whatever if you call it a language, whatever they do. You know, we speak two totally different things. So I put the alligator into the footage room. Now, you know, walking up, showing the alligator compassion. No. Oh, all that touchy. No, don't need to touch the alligator. Alligator didn't come over and touch me, so I'm gonna let the alligator do what the alligator do. You know. I don't need to go up and touch the alligator. Showing it some compassion, especially showing it some love. Oh no. Spend time with the alligator. Don't just rub up. Don't go up and just rub it. I want you to sit down next to it and put your arm around and give it a little hug. No. 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 Now I said I show an alligator compassion from a distance, behind the fence. You know, I throw some treats in there if they permit it. I'll throw some treats in there, or they give me some treats. I'll throw it in there. But I'm just not going to walk up, and that's the same thing. Negative energy. I'm just not. No. My thing is to save energy. See, I'm not going to be saving energy if I'm beside the alligator with my arm around it. I'm not going to feel like I'm saving energy. See, I'm going to feel weak. So that's not. I don't think that's going to work. I put paranoia. Paranoia. Now, positive thinking, positive attitude. Positive thinking, my attitude must follow. Double positives, me feeling good. I don't see where there's room for some paranoia. We'll get back to that one, though. We'll get back to that one. I don't see where there's room for paranoia. Well, we'll get back to that one. That's steady. Paranoia. I'll put paranoia. Now, negative thinking, negative attitude. Oh yeah, I had some paranoia. I had paranoia. You just might as well think of it like, who didn't have? You were in the Wild Wild West. Paranoia. You had to worry about the sheriff. You got to worry. It's a lot. I don't have to positive, double positives. You don't have to. I don't see no reason to be paranoid. What are you hiding? You hiding anything? You're paranoid. Don't have no reason to be paranoid. That's a little. I think paranoia would come from insanity side. Negative thinking, negative attitude, looking for positive results. Yeah. Paranoid of John Law or something. Paranoid. I don't feel paranoia with double positives. Positive thinking, my attitude must follow. Going after passion. Now I told you my positive thinkers get a little stage fright. You get a little nervous. So I get sweaty hands and stuff. I notice my hands, they start sweating. And my hands start sweating. I got some superpowers or something. Throw some of the sweat on you. But my hands are sweat, and I'd be looking at my hands on spider senses, like that. But other than that, no paranoia. Oh, yeah. I put talking about nothing. Misery. Insanity. Talking about nothing. Nothing. I ain't talking about nothing. But it wants me to believe. It wants me to believe that it's talking about something, but it ain't talking about nothing. Ain't talking about nothing. Insanity. Come by. Want some energy and wants to talk to you about nothing. Want to take some energy and talk to you about that. When it comes down to it, after all the smoke is cleared and after all that was said and done, it comes down to what? Nothing. You standing there and I'm still standing here. You still got that penny and I still got this penny right here. So we turn our backs and we leave. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, sanity. Wants to come up and talk about nothing and tell you things that you already know. Wants to tell you things that you already know about yourself. And he's telling me things I already know. He's telling me things that I already know. Come by talking about nothing. Telling me things that I already know. Telling me things about myself. Telling me things about myself that I put out. But you wouldn't tell me things about myself. Okay, well I know this. You're not telling me nothing new. It isn't like anybody's beside me. I know this. Thank you. So that's why I said misery likes to come up, talk about nothing, tell you things about yourself. You know, you could be. I mean, it could be anywhere. You know, you going after passion. That's what misery. That's what misery likes to try to take you off course. You know, negative energy. Wants to try to answer your phone call. It all goes in the same thing. Wants to come up and tell you about yourself. Well, you shouldn't be doing it that way. You should be doing it this way, and you know, you're not. Why are you dressed that way? You should be dressed. Wants to come up and then you know, you can't do this because this is. It wants to come up and tell you about yourself. And then they say, well, you're not right. You're not right for the part, and I should be, you know, and stuff like that. You know, going after passion. Just watch out for these things. Wants to come up and tell you know, it could be a relative. It could be a relative. Could be anybody. Wants to come up and tell you about yourself. You know, so watch out. Watch out for that. Tell you about yourself, and you're not talking about nothing, and wants to try to take you off course. But as I said, you're not. As I told my partner, you're not telling me anything. As I said, you're not telling me anything I don't already know. But I still, this insanity meet you in the middle of the sea, and wants to come up and tell you about yourself. And you need to roll back. The road way out here. You don't even know where I came from. Insanity said it doesn't make a difference where you come from. That's how I say it's insanity. It's always when you show the sun, insanity wants to show the moon. You know, and gotta answer your own phone call. You know, you get sunned in too. Positive fire, you get sunned in too. But if I'm trying to answer other people's phone calls, then what is that? I'm not using my own fire. Okay? I'm trying to answer your phone. You know, it just you know. But watch out for insanity coming by. And then it could be rapping you up about something else, something that it has nothing to do with what the point is or what our mission was to come out today. We said we were gonna go out here. We're gonna go to the grocery store. We're gonna go to the mall. We had an agenda. And now what you're talking about is taking me way off, or us way off course, and this is for the benefit. And what are you talking about? We already had an agenda before we left the house. So now what are you talking about? Well, we need to make a detour. Well, the detour, why didn't the detour came up when? Because, see, you was focused at the house. See, you was laying out your steps. See, that was not included in the steps. So you just talking about nothing. See, it's not included in the steps. I put, let's see. I got a little bit more time. Let's see. I want to do something. Let's see. I'll give you another one. I put the Predator. I don't want to do the Boxer. I'll do the Preacher. I'll put the Preacher. Watch out for the sad songs. No. I got sad songs. I can provide myself with sad songs, see. I was talking about them sad songs on the last video. No. I said, you can tell it to the preacher. Or you can tell it to the police officer, 911. Tell it to the preacher, or tell it to the what did I say? Tell it to the preacher, or tell it to them. I have no time for your sad songs. Tell it to the preacher. That's why I put the preacher into the footage room. Tell it to the preacher. See, that's the thing. Hey, see, that's the thing. See, misery doesn't understand. Misery doesn't understand. I see. On the positive side, you're saving. No. I'm saving now. On the positive side. So we have tools and we have weapons. I'm saving on the positive side. But as I said, you positive thinking, wake up, but still watch out. You know what I'm saying? But our mission is to save on the positive side. So I tell Misery, don't hit me with that sad news. You got the preacher. Tell it to the preacher. Yeah. So I don't know. I wanted to give you those things. I guess that's my time. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all letting me have this time up here, or y'all spending time with me. I appreciate that. Let's see. Again, please like and share. Subscribe if you haven't already. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I appreciate it. But then again, it's not really about that. It's just sharing, just seeing if we have something in common, or if people have something in common out there. So then again, it's not about that. But if you want to, I'd appreciate that. Let's see. I think. I wanted to give this up real quick. So again, for positive thinking, it's just not about me. This is what I wanted to say. I have to do this. It's not just about me. It wouldn't be right for me not to mention, because when all this was going on, I was just alive. Well, when all this was going on, I was feeding off somebody. I was feeding off. I had help. There was a I call it like a pipeline, and I fed off that line. So that has to go to the news channels, MSNBC. I just don't want to talk about one because I like all the newscasters there. And the Ring of Fire, ABC, CNN, Face the Nation, Political News, and Metro Zone News. They helped. They helped with this process. Positive thinkers helped with the process. They were my confirmation. You may proceed. And for the people, and the people that I don't see and I don't know yet, they're included too, and I'll meet them in the future. They're included too, and I like to thank them right now. So again, I don't know what's waiting for me out there when the sky meets the ocean. But I don't know what's waiting for me out there. All I know is I feel good right now. I feel good. I feel good about things right now. Yeah, I feel good about the matchup. Stay easy. And positive thinking, my attitude must follow. Have a beautiful and blessed day.